guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our YouTube account and we're looking at a game mode that absolutely needs some adjustment, guys. There has to be some changes in the future. The good thing is that Lilith Games has heard us. They know the comments and the feedback that they're getting about the Temporal Rift. So the Temporal Rift, you can see right here, guys, we are on level 42 right now. We made a ton of progression in here. I think there's only 50. I think there is only 50 levels. So we did make it a considerable amount of progress in here. We do not put much into this game. If you wanted further progress, you could go through and push some more levels. Most players have said that free to play 300 has been the stopping point. So unfortunately, that has been the stopping point for a majority of players, hitting about that 300. Even if you're grinding or pushing past that level 300 mark, it takes an incredible amount of resources. When you look at my temporal beacons right here, you can see I'm on level 96. This goes to 200. That is right, guys. Over the entire 90-day period, I am about 100 levels short on each of these classifications to actually make through and make more progression within the Temporal Rift. So like I said earlier, Lilith has heard us about the Temporal Rift, guys. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of their feedback and some of the things that they're really thinking. I want to take a couple minutes and kind of break them down on my thoughts, just from a player's perspective on what they have going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So here is the face-to-face volume 15. Now this, they have done a lot. We've actually asked a lot of questions. We've seen them come up in this face-to-face kind of meeting. It's the devs, it's Lilith Games kind of giving us our feedback. Hello adventurers, in response to the recent discussion, Temporal Rift optimization, hero rework, art performance of in-game model are kind of the things that they're going to have the topics on today, so we can go through and kind of discuss those. So the Temporal Rift takes too much grinding and the difficulty is crazy. Now, as an AFK game, the Temporal Rift does take an absolute incredible amount of time. And it also seems that a majority of the players just said, hey, here's the best spec, run it through. So we hear you. We've been following everyone's valuable suggestions and feedback, so please keep it up. They take our feedback, guys. We want to reduce repetitive operations as much as possible to make the Temporal Rift less grindy, which would be something like the auto battle feature. So if you do set kind of maybe how you want to build or what you want to do in there, firstly, we introduce an auto battle function. That is what they needed, guys. 110%, especially if you're going back floors that you have already completed. Set your teams, get the relics, go through. But the problem is the relic selection. I'm not sure how the auto battle function is going to treat the relic selection, which could be definitely interesting to see. Secondly, we changed the max number of rewind chances from resetting per run to 200 times per day, reducing the frequency of the repetitive battles. Players will no longer restart a run from scratch, but from the last floor. So the first time we did the Temporal Rift, we went back, I think it was like 20 floors, 25 floors. And then they made it, you could kind of select. Well, now you're not going to go back floors. So you're actually going to be able to stay where you're at. If there's an incredible difficult floor, you can try it, fail, rewind, try it again, fail, rewind, so on and so forth till you can get that floor completed. Players will no longer restart from scratch, but from the last floor, which they previously advanced to. As for difficulty, we will rescale the overall difficulty levels while optimizing floor effects, hero badges, and temporal beacon effects. So the other big thing with this, guys, is if you didn't have heroes. So when you look at heroes like the Graveborn team, or when you look at the Einskamp, if you look at having like Al Negrez, or even having like Helos, some of the very expensive heroes within AFK Arena, you couldn't make progression. It was very difficult to make progression if you didn't have some of the key heroes in there, which I think kind of scales to the difficulty, but you really couldn't overcome that with some of the temporal beacon. You could overcome it with time, but it took, again, an incredible amount of time. Temporal Rift takes too long to advance through. My heroes seem to be squishy for it. Touched upon the grind and difficulty issues in the previous question. Aside from that, we also want to improve the strategic part of the event. That was the other thing, is when you looked at the beacons themselves, everybody built it the same way because it was the optimal way. Nobody used rangers. Mage was really the priority. I'm sure there's some players that used the rangers, but warriors were obsolete through the entire thing. When we're playing the Temporal Rift, we will introduce a new boss game style the Grand Hunt in upcoming seasons. Very cool addition. As players reach specific floors, they will be challenged by formidable adversaries. In addition to newly added rewards, players can also view their displayed leaderboard ranking. Lastly, honorable rewards will also be improved. Players who venture into the highest floors will get time-limited stickers. Not sure stickers are really going to do it, guys, versus it just being loot. Honestly, the big driver that I've seen within AFK Arena is avatar frames. Not the heroes themselves, but just the frames. Everybody loves the frames, guys. It gives you a challenge. It gives you a reward. Because remember, you only get loot through the first 600 floors. We have players that were at like 1,700 plus, I believe. So they've grinded this an incredible amount of time to get, and I believe there is a frame for it, but that is an incredible, incredible amount of grinding within here. Will we see the rework of earlier released heroes? This is a question that comes up all the time. Understand that players want to see earlier released heroes shine in later versions. That means like, you know, Almas and Kaz, Belinda, Lucius, a lot of the earlier heroes, Shamira, that we used to see when AFK Arena came out. 3 years later, they're not present in any formation period. And we hope that each hero can have a vital spot in the game. We plan to introduce some improvements to specific heroes. So they are going to do some hero adjustments. I don't know if it's going to be a full rework or if they're just referring to the Awakened heroes that we've seen in the past, but that again, we are going to have to wait and see. Recent released heroes and their skin look amazing, then in-game the models are quite different. Yes, this was one of the big things that they said with Rosaline. Not only just the in-game look of it itself, it's very low quality, very, very poor quality. It looks like it's at like a 480p. It's fuzzy around the edges. There's nothing clean, which I know it's kind of a dream state. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I got that skin and it seems like it's really missing a really wow factor within there. Thank you for your feedback. The different emphasis on the function of combat modeling and vertical painting resulted in distinction in visual effects, which again, the heroes looking incredibly different than what we normally see. I want to present the heroes' aesthetics through their portraits, so our design will have more freedom in terms of expression. However, the in-game models need to comply with battle scenes and in-game art style. So again, that is kind of the difference with the picture you see to what you see in game. We will continue to work diligently to strike the perfect balance. So last but not least, we want to thank every player for your continued support and trust. All of your feedback is heard and carefully evaluated by the team. Though we cannot implement every idea into the game, your feedback is always driven at AFK Arena. This is the big reason, guys, why we do the surveys. You have to do the surveys to get the feedback, and Lilith has been doing surveys on a more continuous basis and has been doing them about multiple game modes. I believe we've seen one for the hunting fields, we've seen one for the Temporal Rift. Giving a lot of their feedback. Not only do they reward you for it, but giving your feedback within here does make an incredible, incredible impact when it comes to AFK Arena. Now I'm going to take a minute and just look at the skin that I was kind of talking about. And again, a lot of players that didn't pick up the skin might not see it, but we'll take a look at it real quick. So this was the skin that we were talking about, the Lost Dreams. You can see here, guys, the picture is absolutely amazing. You can see the eyes and everything, the plates and the cups. You can also see the model there and how very kind of clean that it looks. Even looking here at the skin itself, it starts to get kind of a little bit fuzzy. But then when you look at the skin actually within the visual here, it's hard to make out a lot of the details. I think they've improved a little bit. It used to be a lot more fuzzier that I've seen. But again, they need to make sure that the pictures are very prevalent and show exactly what the skin looks like. And I think that's where some of the players have said that they've kind of missed. Even the plates and stuff here kind of look fuzzy. Almost everything looks fuzzy, almost like they're glowing with the new skin. But like I had said, when you look at the portrait here, even here with the golden blonde hair, and then here, it's not really the same depiction within the picture. They could have absolutely cleaned this up a little, guys, to really make it look amazing. Because then I look at a skin like we have for Grez, and the skin that he possesses is absolutely 110% attention to detail. But again, you can see kind of the coloring here of the weaponry of the dual swords that he has, and then also like of the chest piece, how it's almost glowing with a bright light. And then here you just get kind of the dimmed down armor, which I know taking the picture to the actual resolution. But even the hair, you can see it's similar, but not quite the 3D modeling, which I don't know how to do, but I'm sure it's incredibly difficult to do. But love the skins, guys. Very, very cool. They just want to see more of the consistency between all of the pictures that we see and then the actual skin that we see within AFK Arena. That'll do it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.